Hey guys, thank you so much for all your support. That's the first thing I'm going to start out with is the followers. Thank you so much. I don't do this, for me. I generally do this for y'all. But today we are going to dive deep, briefly in to some things that really irritate me. And that is some false information about Titanic. And there is just so much misinformation going around these days about her. And since she's my baby, we are going to base this video on Titanic today. And here we go. Now, I'm not going to debunk everything. And please know that I'm not a historian by any means. I have a huge passion for Titanic and her sister ships. I really do. And I'm trying to just give some information that I know that is correct from my knowledge. And that's all I'm trying to do. So we're going to start with the three biggest things that really just make me irritated, but are just hilarious to me. So we'll start with this. Now, we'll start with Harland and Wolff got established in 1861. Okay, these guys have been building ships and designing ships for quite a while. Okay, trial and error by 1912 is just completely been fixed. Okay, let's just start with there. Now, I believe, 1909 is when Titanic, I believe her keel got laid around 1909. Now, after she got fitted out, she was 46,328 tons. A little bit heavier than her sister. So, here's where we're going to start. Now, people are arguing that Titanic rivets were inferior, that they had not the best mixture of steel as in the way the rivets were made. They had inferior. Now, this is actually true, but it had nothing to do with her sinking. Her rivets were not weak by any means. They were number 9 rivets. Okay, they were not weak. Now, they had weakness to them, yes, but it did not cause a sinking. And we'll get into that in a moment. Now, the other thing about that theory is the fact that her hull plating just got ripped open like a zipper. That is not true. There was I have my notes here. ...220 to 245 foot gash. Okay, that's a huge tear in any ship, even today. That's a huge amount of damage. It really is. And it wasn't just a straight gash. It was punctures. So, if you think about it, that is a colossal amount of flooding. Even with the watertight bulkheads. It was just an insane amount of flooding. And the fact that they lowered the bulkheads did have something to do with it. I'm not going to lie, that did not help. But if she had only gotten 4 to 5, she would have stayed afloat. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the fact that the steel in cold water got brittle and went to shit. That's not true. Yes, steel does get brittle in cold water. That's common sense. But you can't blame that alone on what happened. You just can't. Because there were so many things that were just, Sorry, I had to pause the video. My grandma called me. Shit, where was that? Okay, we'll just start over. So, with that impurities of the rivets and the steel, it was not a factor. And the fact that the gash was that long, And the gash was literally from here to about, boiler rooms, I believe about here. Now, the other thing that bugs the crap out of me is the fact that they said that Captain Smith was speeding through an ice field, which he technically was, but that was the practice at the time. That was what captains were supposed to do. When you go through an ice field, you speed through it to get through it. And in fact, the Titanic was 46,000 gross tons. People didn't think there was an iceberg big enough to sink the ship because you would see it in time. Because there was a cold water mirage. And that is the biggest thing I actually want to talk about right now. A cold water mirage. They thought that they could see miles of clear. They thought they were it was a deception. They thought that the entire thing in front of them was just clear. In fact, that it wasn't. They could see about this close. So it was just a complete delusion. Sorry, wrong word. Complete deception of what the lookouts were actually looking for. And they did not see this iceberg until it was literally 30 seconds to a minute in front of them. Now, the other thing I also want to debunk is the fact that they say they did not have glasses, binoculars, for the lookouts. Now, that is true. A shift change was made, and that dude did, try to be respectful. He did take the locker to his, key to his locker. And yes, the lookouts did not have glasses. However, they would not have made a single difference that night. It would not. Okay. Now, the other thing is the fact that the coal fire had a huge impact on her sinking. And this has been argued back and forth quite a few times. And I'm not really sure how I feel about this subject, but I do not feel that it was the main reason or even a cause. Now, yeah, so here's how it goes. Bunker 6 here. Sorry, my camera's backwards. It's kind of hard. Bunker 6, about here. And apparently there was a line, like, Jesus Christ, like something like that, okay? And it was captured in photos multiple times, and historians have been going over this for quite a minute and have verified for a fact that it did bend a steel girder in that watertight bolt kit on Boiler Room 6, please, I think I'm right. And they covered it with grease like nothing happened. Yes, now that could have affected the flow of water. But the fact of where that was located, the ones behind it should have stopped it. That's the thing. So I'm very confident. I don't know how I feel about that as far as it affecting the sinking exactly. But I do not think that was the main cause or even a part of it. Now, could it have, per se, made it worse? Maybe. But I do not think that was a big cause. So, hope you learned something today. I hope I taught y'all something. Like I said, I just want to get information out there that's correct. And with this BS misinformation, I'm just sick of it. So, yeah. Love you guys. Bye.